The Wisconsin Badgers getting set for action here from Camp Randall Stadium. Their third ever meeting between the Zips and the Badgers. Wisconsin 2-0 lifetime against Akron. They open up here at home on a beautiful Saturday from Madison. Kickoff when we return on BTN. Has turned into a simply beautiful day here in Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin won the toss and they will receive. Before we get to that, we check in with Dick Honig, the rules analyst for BTN. 22 years as a Big Ten official, 11 years as a Big Ten replay official. Terry Bowden in his 5th season at the helm of the Akron Zips. Last season, their first ever FBS 8-win season. And for Paul Chris, a huge victory last week at Lambeau Field a season ago. 10-3, 11-3 now under the direction of the former quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers.
That's just a great homecoming for Coach Chris. You mentioned it, the way they win games here at Wisconsin. I don't think they get enough credit for that in the preseason polls. The Badgers went out last week and proved that they're a team to be reckoned with. And if that defense continues to improve, everybody better look out for this ball club. Sophomore
Tom O'Leary from Tucker, Georgia will kick off. And back for the Badgers is Natrell Jamerson. And Jamerson takes it at the 20-25. A flag is down, and he is brought down at the 32-yard line by Ulysses Gilbert III.
This is one of the areas that Coach Chris talked to us about, cleaning up the game. If this is a penalty on the Badgers, obviously it takes away great field position. It's something they've got to clean up. He'll be holding right in there.
During the return, holding, return team, number 47, 10-yard penalty, first down.
They call it on Vince Beagle, number 47. Bart Houston.
Vince looked like he was good enough to have an MMA career after this. That was a straight takedown. That was impressive.
Bart Houston will now operate from the 17. Lone set. Corey Clement is the running back. Houston under center. Ramish in motion. And a handoff and a huge hole for Corey Clement, spinning around and all the way up to the 26-yard line and may be spotted at the 25.
Bread and butter for Wisconsin right here. You see their motion of fullback back into the backfield, off tackle. Great block at the point of attack. Clement does the rest, running downhill.
James Turner there on the scene in a 10-yard pickup. You see the numbers from last week, 21 carries for 86 yards. Injured much of last season, sports hernia and a one-game suspension. Clement dragging the Zips all the way up to the 41-yard line before Savon Pittman and Zach Gusser are there to bring him down. We'd like to welcome all those that were watching Howard University against Rutgers. Just underway here at Camp Randall. Houston, Clement, the running back, and a give once again. And Clement spinning around and finally brought down by Brock Boxon, who is there, along with Jamal Marcus. Jamal Marcus, a transfer from Ohio State, played 24 games for the Buckeyes, Stanley.
He did step into action in a bowl game against Clemson, was effective there, has found a home here at Akron. He's going to have to be big. One of the challenges for this team is replacing 3 really good linebackers a year ago, so the defensive line has to be great in the game today.
And the 2015 MAC Defensive Player of the Year, Jatavius Brown. Clement trying to cut outside and gets tripped up and stopped by Larry Hope, who's a transfer from the University of Miami, Florida.
Great open field tackle. Nothing fancy for Wisconsin. Again, you see the power off tackle, but you got to make a shoestring tackle sometimes. Good job right there. Otherwise, that is a house call for Corey Clement.
70-yard pickup for Clement. It's 3rd and 1 now. Taiwan Deal is the running back. And they're going to give to the fullback. And Austin Ramish, able to get the first down. At Northland Pines High School in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin, Jelani Hamilton did not play last week because of an injury, and another transfer out of the University of Miami there on the stop and a 5-yard pickup for the Badgers.
The Zips defensive line is going to have their hands full today. A lot of size, a lot of strength up front for Wisconsin, and just a simple trap play, get 2 yards, pick up the first down. That's something they'll be able to do all day on 3rd and short.
It's a young offensive line for the Badgers. Last year, injuries forced the Badgers to use 8 different starting combinations. And a handoff to Deal, ramming ahead and close to the 40-yard line. And a boxing is there and a 4-yard pickup.
And you'll notice out of Wisconsin, a lot of traditional I-set formations. They're going to play a tight end. They're going to play multiple fullbacks, something that you don't see around the rest of the country, but they're very effective with it, and they run multiple plays from the same look. And if you can't stop their run, you're in for a long day.
They have not thrown the football yet. Clement has 33 yards already. Play action, rolling out. Houston on the run, looks downfield and nearly throws an interception. DeAndre Scott last year led the team with 6 interceptions for the Zips. The pass was intended for Fumagalli.
This was one of the things we talked about with Bart Houston. You got to take what the defense gives you. Tried to force one into his top receiver, Fumagalli, from a week ago, but you got a guy open in the flats. Take what the defense gives, stay on schedule, and move the chains. He got away with that one. That's an area he's going to have to improve in as the season goes on.
You see the numbers from last week against LSU. Out of the shotgun, Houston. Agumbawale in the backfield with him. Houston, and Jazz Peavy is able to make the catch, and it's a first down for the Badgers.
Way to come back from almost throwing an interception. Watch his poise here in the pocket. He's going to have to step up. There's a little leakage in the middle, but his arm is big enough. He stands in there, can't even follow through it. Has enough of that big arm to get it there. It's a good play by Bart Houston right there.
11-yard pickup, and the reaction from Bart Houston, named, of course, for Green Bay Packer great Bart Starr.
It's always great to get that first completion of a game. Get that monkey off your back.
Peavy in motion. I formation. Here's Houston on a handoff. Clement trying to bounce outside, down to the 25. Puts his head down and close to a first down at the 20-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 22 of the Zips. DeAndre Scott out on an island there, making the open field tackle.
You know, we were talking this weekend to the Akron coaches. They were concerned about the run game and their linebackers getting out there. Whenever your corner is involved this much in the run game this early, that's a problem. You're going to have to figure out a way to stop or slow down this Wisconsin run attack.
Chuck Amato in his 5th season. Associate head coach, defensive coordinator in his 44th year as a college football coach. Robert Wheelwright heading down to the 11 before he is forced out of bounds by Turner and Hope on the scene.
Expecting big things out of Robert this year. It's an extended handoff right here. It's a way to get your receivers involved early. You get a big block at the point of attack. You got to make one guy miss and pick up some extra yardage. Whenever you load the box, you try to stop the run. You're susceptible to plays from the wide receiver position. That was a great call right there.
A pickup of 10. You talk to Paul Chryst, head coach, and then the offensive coordinator, Joe Rudolph. The one word they continually use with Bart Houston: competitor. And he has the ability to put mistakes behind him and to move forward. Inside handoff. Clement is wrapped up and brought down. Gilbert there on the scene along with Andrew Hauser for the Akron Zips, and a pickup of 2, and also Deontay Moore.
That's a great point, Matt, about Bart Houston coming back from mistakes, right? A week ago, almost lost that game. That first interception went for a touchdown, and now you see his composure. You just got to manage the game, and they're helping him with the play calling right now by running the ball more than they're throwing, allowing the game to come to your young quarterback.
2 wide receivers, top of your screen. Agumbawale with tons of room trying to break it to the outside. And a good job closing by Zach Gusser coming up.
That was a phenomenal play right there by Zach. One guy to beat, you have to make that play. And that's how a linebacker steps up in the hole, scrapes. You see him scrape out the outside and just turn on a little bit of speed, a little holding right there. Good play right there by our young linebacker.
That guys are coming up, making the stop. He's played in every game of his collegiate career, the junior. 3rd down now and 7 for the Badgers. Houston with time quickly, and the pass is intended for rushing. It's broken up by Larry Hope.
Matt, you talked earlier about all these transfers that showed up at Akron. Well, Larry Hope is one of them, a transfer from Miami, Florida. Great coverage right there. They tried to run the slant. Good hands, breaking up that ball, not allowing the completion.
Defense, number 19. Half distance to the goal line. Repeat, 2nd down.
That's what you don't want right there. You get a great stop there, breaking up the pass, and you have offsides on your defense, giving Wisconsin another opportunity here on 3rd down. You had a chance to get the kick team on the field, and you blew it.
Referee Kurt Johnson. Inside the 5. 3rd and 2. Houston. Clement into the end zone, and a touchdown for the Badgers.
Just a freight train right there. You'll see this set for the offense. 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks. You'll see great push at the point of attack. Watch Fumagalli get there. Great seal block. Allows Corey Clement a little lane to get into the end zone. That's outstanding blocking by the offensive line and the tight ends. It's going to be a long day for Akron if they can't figure out how to stop this run game.
Clement, his 2nd touchdown of the year, and the 2nd game of the year for the Badgers. Rafael Gaglianone is on the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week. Opening drive works for the Badgers. They kept it on the ground, and Clement comes through on 3rd and 2. 13 plays, 83 yards. Badgers up 7-0. Jimmy John's scoring drive. It is 7-0. Badgers on their opening drive. 13 plays, 83 yards. The time, 5:38. And Corey Clement already 47 yards, Stanley, on the ground with a touchdown, his 2nd of the season.
It's exciting for Corey to be back on the field. We knew a couple years ago when he was backing up one of the better college running backs right here at this place. We knew there was a lot of talent for this young man. Rocky year last year, a couple of injuries kept him off the field. It's exciting to see him back. When he's healthy and seeing it correctly, he's a game changer.
P.J. Wazowski to kick, and it is taken inside the 10, and Van Edwards is going to bring it out to the 35-yard line. And a great return for the sophomore out of Cape Coral, Florida. As a true freshman, he averaged better than 20 yards last year. And the auto owners impact players.
Fantastic return right there. But Thomas Woodson, he's the guy that will light it up. 6 touchdowns a week ago, 400 yards. Jerome Lane, how about this guy? A converted defensive end, 6'3", 220 pounds, 196 yards. So T.J. Watt is going to have to be active again this week, getting after the passer, making sure he's got great rush lanes to get there.
Probably familiar basketball fans with the name Jerome Lane. Yes, this is Jerome Lane Jr. to the air. And looking for Jerome Lane, it's broken up by Derek Tyndall.
Right away, we'll see a huge contrast in how Akron attacks you. They're going to throw the ball. That's outstanding coverage right there. just get your head around there at the end of that play. You might have yourself an interception. Great coverage.
2nd and 10. His father, Jerome Lane Sr., played at the University of Pittsburgh. And it's going to bring up 3rd down as Sojourn Shelton comes in and makes a stop after JoJo Natsa made the catch. If you're looking for the Illinois State Northwestern game, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. 3rd down now and 5 for the Zips. Thomas Woodson to the air and nearly picked off by the veteran Shelton. Last week, 3 tackles against the Tigers. And he breaks that one up.
Oh, what a missed opportunity right there. That's a house call. That's how you break on the ball right there by Shelton. Akron is going to throw the football all over the place. They play up-tempo. It's going to be a test for this secondary. When you get an opportunity to get an interception and possibly points, you have to make that play. He'll lose sleep tonight over that one.
Jazz Peavy is back. The kicker is Nick Gasser. It's a short kick, bouncing in favor of the Zips, and it's going to go all the way inside the 15. So a good roll for the sophomore from Liberty Township, Ohio. Last week, punted 3 times, averaged close to 40 yards. Badgers on offense when we return.
Recipe for success for the Wisconsin Badgers: run, run, run. Look at that rush land right there. Corey Clement gets in the hole. 7 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Watch a little jittery move right here. When he gets it going, this offense is tough to stop. 10 rushes out of 13 plays. That's how they got it started. It all caps off with a big run here and a touchdown for Corey Clement. It's great to see him back. It's a great way to protect your young quarterback and get your offense off to a great start.
Averaging 5.7 a carry are the Badgers. Last season, they averaged 3.8 yards per rush. That was their lowest since 2004. They give to Clement once again, and straight ahead is Corey before he is brought down by Jamal Marcus. It's a 4-yard pickup. Marcus, a transfer from Ohio State, played in 24 games for the Buckeyes. You mentioned, his first career start was against Clemson in the 2014 Orange Bowl.
And he had an outstanding game.
Yeah, 6 tackles.
He's going to have a big career there, but, it had to come somewhere else to find home, and he's done an outstanding job.
Terry Bowden has done a great job picking up transfers. Houston to the near side, and that pass nearly picked off by Larry Hope. As he jumped the route there.
There are a couple things on that one. Number one is a 3-step drop. You got to let the ball go sooner. And then the receiver can help you a little bit coming back to the football, but that was almost catastrophic right there, having a ball turned over inside your red area. Bart Houston's got to be safer with the football. He's got a great defense. You can run the ball well. He's got to be smarter. Got to throw that on time.
Paul Chris said it's not so much the science of quarterbacking, but the art of quarterbacking and situational awareness for Bart Houston. 3rd down now. Houston with time. And the pass is caught. Steffes makes the catch, and Alvin Davis Jr. comes in on the stop. And a pickup of 8. Luke Steffes, the 5th-year senior. And a handoff straight through the middle. And Dare Ogunbowale, last week, 9 carries, 44 yards, and a 9-yard pickup before James Turner, the captain on the defense for this Zips team, comes in and makes a stop.
Great depth at the running back position. You got Corey Clement, everything back. You bring in Ogunbowale, another guy that can make it happen in between the tackles. Picking up the pace here for Wisconsin, something you normally don't see. They want to see if the Zips can handle a little up-tempo of themselves.
Ingold in motion. Houston on a handoff. Clement getting outside, spinning away from one would-be tackler. And he is down at the 42, possibly the 43-yard line before Brian Bell comes in on the stop and a 10-yard pickup.
Kid is special. Look at the balance right there. Getting his shoulders back square down the line of scrimmage, a couple of spins. When he's healthy, he's one of the better backs in the conference, if not the country. Everybody was expecting big things out of him a year ago. This is now Clementine.
It is 9 carries for 61 yards. A big first quarter for the Badgers on the ground. Here's Wheelwright, Robert Wheelwright, down the sideline at the 20, cuts it back inside, and now forced out of bounds inside the 10 as James Turner finally tracks him down, pounds you on the ground, and then they go to the air. And a quick hit to Wheelwright.
Well, we talked to the coaches about who's the wide receiver that's going to step up and be the playmaker on the edge. And the first name they went to was Robert Wheelwright. Easy throw, extended handoff, big yards after the catch. That's how you protect your quarterback and get your receivers involved.
Ingold straight ahead after a 47-yard pickup. A great job by Wheelwright after the catch, and Brian Bell there on the stop after a 2-yard gain by Alec Ingold.
Just a good way to protect your quarterback, right? Extended handoffs. It's not a dangerous throw. If you get some yak after the catch, then it helps his confidence, because Bart has to learn how to protect the football and manage the game. Don't do anything silly. Play within yourself. Take what the defense gives you.
Clement in the backfield. Fumagalli in motion. And a whistle as the pass was intended for Troy Fumagalli. And a timeout.
It took a while to get that timeout called. Terry Bowden was almost in the middle of the field there, and luckily he got it called just in time.
Timeout. Akron.
So Akron
First charge,
takes the timeout.
Timer. Please reset the game clock to 4:09. Thank you.
So it's timeout Akron, and Terry Bowden didn't like what he saw. It's 7-0. Timeout on the field. Second possession, second drive for the Badgers, and they are in business once again. 4:09 remaining in this opening quarter for Paul Chryst. His Badgers in business once again. And their second possession, second drive of the game. Down inside the 10 from the 7. Houston. Clement in the backfield. Clement has been outstanding. They give it to Clement once again, cutting back through the middle. Hope is there, wrapped up by Pittman, and stood up at the 5. And it's a 3-yard gain. It's now 3rd and goal for Wisconsin.
A little better effort by that Akron defensive front, but again, Clement is the kind of back that he get a little seam, he can get you some positive yards. Not sure about the jump there at the end. You want to get your pad level in that hole in the goal line area, but he's just a dynamic back that's tough to stop, and if he stays healthy, Wisconsin's offense is going to be really good at the end of the year.
Great job by Austin Ramish, that time standing up the Mike linebacker, John Rochelle. Steffes in motion. Ingold, the fullback. The give to Clement. Clement driving his legs close to the goal line. It's going to be 4th and goal. John Rochelle comes in, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to make the stop.
Old school smash mouth football in the goal line area. Fullbacks, tight ends, run the ball downhill, north and south. Let's see if Corey can get this one done.
Paul Chryst, it's 4th down and goal to go. He said they got to be better in the red zone. Steffes in motion. Clement tripped up as he tried to cut outside in that heavy package with 2:42 left here in this first quarter.
Yeah, he saw the hole right here. You'll see it right there to his right. Try to hop, skip into that hole, just lost his balance. Had he got there with his shoulder square, I think he would have been in the end zone. So that's a missed opportunity right there for the Badgers.
Good job by Akron up front. They're going to take over on downs, and a big stop by the Akron Zips. That's kind of what I'm talking to Terry Bowden, who was hoping for. Wisconsin using a lot of the clock and staying in there, giving them an opportunity, quite possibly.
If you keep the game close, you have an opportunity.
Woodson from his own end zone. And Vince Beagle is calling for movement up front.
Matt, I remember playing in this stadium. It's tough down here in that student section. They get loud down here.
Offense, number 10. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
It was great yesterday in talking to Paul Christ. You and Paul were reminiscing about playing here. And, of course, he had a different take of wearing the Wisconsin red, comparing, of course, to your experience as a visitor from the Buckeye State. Woodson goes up top. Has a wide receiver there, in and out of the hands of Jerome Lane. There is a flag on the play, and it's going to go against Akron. So penalty certainly hurting Terry Bowden's Zips right now.
But Thomas Woodson is a complete
pass
quarterback.
interference. Offense, number 7. That penalty will be declined. Remains first down.
Tough call right there. It looked like they were running side by side. We'll take a look at it. So you get an opportunity to get to the ball, but that push-off right there, he extended his arm.
Correction. Second
that
down.
makes it difficult. Can't extend your arm when you run a route. You got to keep it in tight. Just lift the wing up to give yourself a little space.
2nd and 11. Inside their own one. Woodson looking for room. Woodson, no place to go. The Badgers are able to come up and sack him in the end zone for a safety. T.J. Watt there along with Alec James. The Badgers up front, a tremendous amount of pressure. And the dangerous Thomas Woodson goes down in his own end zone for a safety. Beagle battling. There's Watt. There's Alec James. Safety for the Badgers. You know, a lot of people thought there'd be some slippage. Dave Aranda going to LSU as a defensive coordinator. Justin Wilcox, after 2 years at SC, USC, comes here. This defense in the first 5 quarters, they have been on top of their game. And, of course, with the linebacking core and then the 3 down linemen, they've been strong.
Not to take anything away from Coach Wilcox, but you want a great coach? Put talent on the field. And these linebackers, they get after it. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with this Watt family, but every player they put out here in Wisconsin is outstanding. You talk about Vince Beagle. I mean, these kids play hard, and they get after it. And that defense is a shining star right now for the Badgers.
Gasser to punt, and it is picked up by Agumbawale. Agumbawale with some room trying to get to the outside, but Gilbert is going to be there, wrapping him up, and then finally bringing him down close to the 50-yard line. At about the 48-yard line, and a 24-yard return. Just 15 months ago, T.J. Watt was a tight end. And then they switch him to the other side of the ball, and he has been outstanding there. So here is Bart Houston, and this offense stalled at the goal line.
Right. And look, this is great for any quarterback. Getting the ball here, you're not worried about getting the safety the way Akron just did. And the playbook now, Matt, is wide open. We can run anything. We can run the ball the way we have. You go play action pass, or you can try to take a shot right here. Let's see what the coaches have dialed up.
I formation. In motion is Peavy. Bart Houston. And they're going to give it to Peavy. Peavy trying to get to the edge at the 40, 35, and he is brought out of bounds by Andrew Hauser. And out of Mason, Ohio, the junior.
Just a little end around action right here. What happens is it starts up front. When you run the ball effectively downhill, you get an opportunity for misdirection. That's all the end around is. Get a guy with a little bit of speed, put the ball in his hands. If he can get the edge, you get big yards there, chunk yards as they call it.
1:50 remaining here in this first quarter. I formation. Deal on a handoff. And Deal may be able to pick up a yard. Copeland is there. Geyser comes up for the Zips. Only 4 starters return on this defense for Chuck Amato, and all the starting linebackers are gone from last year. And so he is definitely looking for 3 backers to step up and stake claim to those positions. Houston, and wide open up top, Peavy, and Peavy inside the 20-yard line, and a first down as Scott and Bell are there, and it's a 10-yard pickup.
Much better throw that time by Bart Houston. We saw him try to throw a slant earlier in the game from shotgun. I thought he wasn't in rhythm, held the ball a little long, allowed the corner to jump it. That time, 3-step drop, no hitch, came up firing the football. Very accurate throw. Allow your receiver to make a play after you get him the football. Great throw by Bart Houston.
And with the Zips stacking the box because of the run, Peavy was wide open. Houston is 5 of 7 for 86 yards. And straight ahead is Deal. And he was down to the 15-yard line. And Andrew Hauser getting the start this week over John Rochelle comes in once again. Last week had 7 tackles, a Mike linebacker. And a 4-yard pickup. Productive a week ago, gets the start this week against the Badgers on the road. Houston to the air on a slant. Peavy inside the 5 of the Zips. Larry Hope. And that's going to end the quarter. It is 9-0 and 11-yard pickup. The Wisconsin Badgers in control on a Saturday here in Madison, Wisconsin. 10th-ranked Badgers. We go to the second.
Matt, here's that box you talked about. Akron wants to stop the run in the red zone. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players in there. They want to force Wisconsin to throw the football down here. They're going to load the box and make Bart Houston make a decision to throw it, and that's just what he did on that last play. Stepped up 3 steps, hits this great slant right there to Peavy. Nice little play in the red zone area.
The second quarter will begin with Houston and the Badgers inside the 5 of the Zips from the 4. Clement in the backfield. And a give. Clement straight ahead. And we see Olive Songapolu wearing number 99 in the backfield. And, of course, typically wears 65. However, they want to use him as a fullback. And so you'll see him change the jersey to 99 so he can play back there. Now, if you're Clement, just follow Olive, right?
I guess they're not big enough back there. Just follow the big bodies. Follow through the hole.
You see him once again as the lead blocker. Clement grinding it out. Did he get in? He is close to the goal line. And Savon Pittman comes in on the stop. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
I tell you, one of the things that Corey is doing a really good job of, I'm not saying I recommend for any young running backs to be jumping into the pile inside the 5-yard line, but watch how quick he gets his feet back onto the ground and continues to churn forward for some positive yards. The great news is he's always leaning forward, never going backwards after he runs the ball.
And they get a great push up front. Clement diving across. Touchdown for the Badgers. Clement, his 2nd of the game. 3rd of the season.
Valiant effort by the Zips up front, but that offensive line of Wisconsin, you add in the other big bodies, just too much for them. You see the push at the point of attack. There are no white jerseys anywhere at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. That's too easy when you got a great running back like Corey Clement. It's going to be a long day for those guys up front for Akron if they can't figure out how to stop the run.
Umagale with a block, 8 plays, 53 yards. Gaglianone And it's 16-0. The 10th-ranked Badgers over the Akron Zips. Corey Clement with the touchdown. Zowski. And did he bring it out?
That was a close call. The young man thought about bringing that out. Ooh.
Oh, right there.
Ooh.
Van Edwards right at the line, and they're still singing.
They know how to party here. You said it's Madtown, right? They know how to get it in.
Oh. Wait to jump around. Wait to jump around.
Are you prepared for jump around?
I'm ready for jump. I'm ready for jump around. 16-0. Wisconsin Badgers. They lead with 13:45 on the clock, and let's see if the Akron Zips can get something going. Thomas Woodson in this offense just hasn't seen much time, and a handoff for Warren Ball. And Ball, the transfer from Ohio State. During the break, the Wisconsin men's basketball coach Greg Gard was on the field today to recognize the team's trip to Maui for this year's Maui Invitational. The field of 2016, Georgetown, North Carolina, Oklahoma State, Oregon, Tennessee, UConn, the Badgers, and of course the host Chaminade. We had Vito Brown, Nigel Hayes, Zach Showalter, Bronson Koenig. What an outstanding job Greg Gard, longtime assistant to Bo Ryan, did last season at the helm of the Wisconsin Badgers, and another Big Ten basketball news head coach of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Richard Pitino, hiring former Tulane head coach Ed Conroy as one of his assistants. And a great move by the Gophers. And that one is broken up. Is it a loose ball or is it incomplete? I'm going to say it's incomplete. And Vince Beagle right there.
You know, a week ago, this Akron offense absolutely lit it up. 407 yards from Thomas, 6 touchdowns. And they had not been able to get it going today. This core of linebackers is outstanding. Not only do they put a little pressure on the quarterback, but then they break up the pass. And these guys can flat out play.
Jack Sitchie was the one. That was right there. Gasser another punt. And this one to Peavy at the 41. Peavy now to the 45-yard line before Morrow makes the stop. 5-yard return. More from Madison after this. For the Benjamin Moore Game Changers, the athletic director here at the University of Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez. Back on January 1st, 2015, under the direction of interim head coach Barry Alvarez, Wisconsin running back Melvin Gordon ran for an Outback Bowl record 251 yards and added 3 touchdowns. The 18th-ranked Badgers beat the 19th-ranked Auburn Tigers 34-31. And, of course, Barry Alvarez, a tremendous job as the head football coach here and now as the athletic director. Received a contract extension this past week through 2021.
14 national titles as a university. So not just a game changer for football. You know about his impact on the field, but what he's doing with the rest of the sports here at Wisconsin is outstanding.
Tony Granato brought in as the head coach for the men's hockey team. And turn things around with the Badgers on the ice. There's no doubt he'll get it done. Deal tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Time now for the T-Mobile studio update. Here's Mike Hall. Mike?
Updating you on Indiana and Ball State. Richard Lago with a great first half thus far. He's perfect throwing the ball. 43 yards to Nick Westbrook here. Hoosiers up 10-0.
Nick Westbrook. Wow.
16-0 here with 11:33 remaining in the first half. Bart Houston at the 45 of the Zips. Houston looks downfield. Houston overthrows his intended target, Peavy. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Had him wide open there. Bart displays a strong arm. Looked good. Stood up tall in the pocket. Just put way too much on that ball. A little more air. Let Peavy run under it. And that's a house call for Bart Houston.
Brings up third down. Inbound to Wisconsin on the ground, 118. Zips have not picked up a yard. 16-0, 10th ranked Badgers. Time now for Houston. Can he connect? It's broken up by Bryce Jones. Yeah, nice play by Bryce Jones.
Watch that hand right there. Gets his right hand around without putting the left hand on the shoulder, so there's no pass interference call. Just a great play by Jones right there. That's one of the areas of some concern for this Wisconsin offense. You got to be able to throw the ball effectively, especially on third and long situations. Against better opponents, you're going to have more of those challenges. So you got to figure out a way to how to get that done on third down.
Anthony Lotti, the true freshman. And inside the 10-yard line. It is brought down by JoJo Natson. It's going to be spotted at the 11. Badgers on defense when we return.
Experience hurts even a guy that's in his 5th year as a senior. So let's watch Bart Houston here in shotgun. He's going to take the snap. Just keep an eye on his head. Watch him right here as we freeze it. Look at his eyes. He's looking one way and one way only. What that does is it gives the secondary indication of where you're throwing the ball, allows the corner to stop sooner and break on the football. That's an area where he's going to have to improve and grow up on. Using your eyes to move safeties and allow your receivers to get a little more space.
Warren Ball is going to pick up a first down, stop by T.J. Watt. Warren Ball last week, 110 yards on the ground. His first career touchdown, 5th-year transfer. Spent time, of course, at Ohio State. 33 games in his career for the Buckeyes, so they're going to give it once again right back through the middle for the former Buckeye.
Looks like Akron is going to try something a little different. They've been throwing the ball on every down so far to come out with Warren Ball here and get their first down of the game with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Maybe they can soften this defense up by running the ball effectively with Warren Ball.
After the pickup of 4, it's going to be 2nd down and 6. Woodson and Ball. And Ball lowers the shoulders and just shy, it appears, of picking up a first down.
Nice job by the offensive line. Sometimes it's not always about knocking your man off the ball. It's about holding them so the back can see the lane. Nice little jump cut. Then Ball gets his shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. He lowers his pad level to pick up a couple extra yards. Starting to put together a nice little drive here by Akron.
We saw T.J. Edwards didn't play last week. Wasn't a part of fall camp because of a left foot injury. In action here today, the sophomore. And a big break this time for Ball. Warren Ball loses the football. Scooped up by the Badgers. Shelton with it. Shelton returning it to the 25. Sojourn Shelton.
You know, Matt, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. There's a reason why Warren Ball was recruited by Ohio State. Physical running back, lowers his pads, gets a bunch of extra yards, but you have to secure the football down the field. Look at that punch out right there. That's textbook how you punch the ball out by Tyndale. Fantastic defensive effort to get the ball back to Wisconsin. I thought initially it might have been a lucky play, but that was an outstanding play by number 25, Tidall, right there.
Shelton, the fumble recovery, the forced fumble by Derek Tyndall. What a great job. Warren Ball on the run trying to grind out some more yards.
He's a big physical back. He's got a lot of tools. Just got to put the ball away. You got to anticipate that backside corner. He didn't. He lost the football.
Clement with a ton of room. Cuts it back up inside. A stiff arm inside Zips territory before he is forced out of bounds. Ibrahim Kamara, out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, the junior, tracking him down. A 27-yard gain, Stanley.
You saw those big bodies come around the right edge, and then Clement does the rest, runs through a tackle, has the ball in his outside hand, leaves the inside hand available for a stiff arm. Just an outstanding job by that young man. He's a really, really good football player.
Once again, time of possession in favor of Wisconsin, just like last week. I formation. Handoff. Clement looking for a hole. And he's able to pick up 3 yards on the carry before he is brought down by Jamal Marcus.
A lot of movement up front by that Wisconsin offensive line. I mean, they move bodies around. They create rush lanes, and they continue to keep themselves on pace when you talk about down and distance, so it doesn't put a lot of pressure on Bart Houston, quarterback. Just a great overall job by this O-line.
Clement, 17 carries, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's his 9th career 100-yard rushing game. Play action. Houston across the middle and trying to force a throw into double coverage. Featherstone and Geiser were right there.
And that secondary was helped out by a little bit of pressure up front. Bart was uncomfortable, couldn't step up in the pocket, tried to move around and make the throw on the move. It's a much better job by that Akron front right there. They've got 8 guys in the box. They've got to be able to get after the passer. You see there? Just too much pressure. He slides over nicely, but the defensive lineman gets a hand on him, makes it difficult to throw the ball when somebody's draped all over you.
3rd and 7. Paul Chris said they must be better on 3rd downs. And we talked to him yesterday. Houston to the air, near side. Coming back is rushing, holding on to the football. Of course, last week up at Lambeau, ended up turning it over. Zach Geiser comes in on the stop and a 13-yard gain, and a better job that time by Bart Houston and the Badgers on 3rd down.
Absolutely. We talked earlier in the game about wide receivers helping out the quarterback by coming back to the football. See him do an outstanding job rushing, coming all the way back to catch that ball for that big 3rd down conversion.
Last week, 2 catches for 18 yards. The junior from Miramar, Florida, Cardinal Gibbons High School. Clement trying to get to the edge at the 30. Bounces outside, and he's going to pick up 2, maybe 3, depending upon the spot. Looks like a 3-yard pickup. It's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 7 with 6:55 and counting remaining here in the first half at Camp Randall.
You got to love this offense, right? You're in the state of Wisconsin. We know about Green Bay football, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, they don't run a ton of plays, but what they do run, they run effectively. You see those big bodies getting to that left edge, leading the way for Corey. It's just a great job of running the football.
9 times in his career, he's rushed for over 100, and the pass is caught by Peavy. Great hands by Jazz Peavy from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Quietly, Peavy is putting together a nice campaign here today. Saw the big arm right there by Bart Houston. That nice spin on that football. Now watch the hands. Eyes to the ball. Great hand securing the catch. Puts it away before it hits the ground. Turns over to his back so the ball doesn't touch the turf at all. Great job by Peavy right there.
We haven't seen Bart Houston use his tight end Fumagalli yet. Ramish and Clement in the backfield. Steffes in motion. They're going to give it to Clement, trying to bounce outside. Stiff arm. No place to go and out of bounds. A good job there by Bryce Jones. Cutting off Clement and forcing him out of bounds. And it's going to be a loss of 1.
Great job by Bryce Jones. One thing that you notice here, the secondary for Akron has to be involved in the run game. I mean, these guys have to be ready to come up and make tackles, something that a lot of corners don't want to do. But when you play a team like Wisconsin, you better strap it on and be ready to come up and make plays.
2nd and 11. Agumbawale in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. Has an opening, but a good job by the Zips, and flag is down. Featherstone coming up. Box in there.
Defense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
That one on
Marcus.
Marcus, right? We've called his name a lot today. He's been a very active player, but you have to be disciplined. You can't line up in the neutral zone trying to give yourself an edge. It was a great play by the defense. Now you allow Wisconsin to pick up the first down and give them life here in the red area. That's a mistake that Akron's going to have to avoid throughout the rest of this game. They're going to keep this one close.
As a freshman back in 2012 for the Buckeyes, he had 10 tackles against the Indiana Hoosiers. Deal in the backfield. Here's Houston, quick step and looking for Wheelwright. And the pass is incomplete. It's going to be third down now.
Now that was the right idea from Bart Houston. That back shoulder throw that's been so popular over the last few years. You got to get it higher. You have to get it closer. It's a little difficult to do that when you have pressure at your legs. So Bart is showing that he has a big arm. If they can protect him a little bit here, he'll make a lot more of these throws.
Houston 9 of 15, 131 yards. He has not thrown a touchdown pass this season. Second of game. Home opener. Houston finds Peavy. Touchdown Badgers. His first touchdown pass of the season. Finds him on a slant wide open.
It's a great throw right there. Great pocket by the offensive line. He steps up in rhythm. Accurate ball. Touchdown Wisconsin. Take a look at this pocket right here. They build it up nice. There's a clear passing lane for the quarterback. Throws an accurate ball to Peavy, and they get a touchdown on the board. That is team effort. That's why it's the greatest game ever, Matt. 11 guys doing the same thing at the same time. That's how you have success. Picture perfect for the Wisconsin passing game.
Peavy with the touchdown, first of the season for the junior. Knows that the Badgers are up now 23-0. They're loving it. Football on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Find your agent at autoowners.com. 23-0, 4:58 remaining here in the first half. Time of possession nearly 21 minutes for Wisconsin. 4:14 for the Zips.
Yeah, we've come to expect Wisconsin dominating the time of possession in any football game because they run the ball so effectively. The thing that's most impressive is this Wisconsin defense, again, limiting this Akron offense that threw for 407 yards and 6 touchdowns a week ago. They had the one drive where they put together a couple of first downs and ended up in a fumble. This defense is playing great.
Wazowski sends it to the 7-yard line, and it bounces off Van Edwards. It appears and out of bounds. There is a flag down.
Take a look at this route right here. You see a great route by Peavy. It starts with the blocking up front. The quarterback gets a great throwing lane. He steps up, and right underneath, accurate throw for a touchdown.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at 35-yard line. First down.
So it goes out of bounds, and at the 35, that's where the Zips will start. We have 4:58 to go here in the first half. And Paul Chryst in a conversation here. And I think what the conversation is in regards to, did it go off of Van Edwards and out of bounds? And I think now we're going to stop it to play here. And let's hear from Bill Simmons.
The ruling on the previous play was a kickoff, untouched, out of bounds. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, let's see. Here's Van Edwards coming up at the 8-yard line. Did he touch it? And that's why we are under review. We need indisputable video evidence. Let's see if it touched any part of Van Edwards. It looks like it may have.
It's close. Yeah. It's close, but I don't think so.
All right, let's go to Dick Honig, our rules analyst. Dick.
Well, we have a situation here that if the ball actually touched the receiver, then the ball is going to be placed where the ball went out of bounds. If it didn't touch the receiver, then it is a kick out of bounds and would go to the up to the 35-yard line. So the question is, it's hard to tell from what we see on the video at this point, but did it touch his fingers or not touch his fingers? It is really a close play.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Kickoff went untouched, out of bounds. Replace the 35-yard line.
Thank you
first down.
For your insights, Dick. And remember, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn it. And there was some question as to whether or not it did touch the hands or a hand of Van Edwards. And so instead of being at the 8, it's at the 35. 1st and 10 now for the Akron Zips. They trail 23-0 here on the road. Woodson to the air, fires downfield, and Jerome Lane.
Woodson's pass complete.
With the reception, and Dixon and Jamerson right there.
Third time's the charm. You see a little hitch and go. Great action there by the big wide receiver to find some space there in the secondary. The third time they tried to go up top. I guess the third time's the charm, getting it done for the Zips.
And of course, his father with the backboard breaking slam dunk, and Bill Raftery with the send it in, Jerome. One of the great calls ever. To the air, and it's picked off. Leo Musso last week had 5 tackles. This week with the interception.
Watch the safety here. We talked about it earlier with Bart Houston staring down a wide receiver. Musso gets a fantastic jump on that ball and makes a big play. Now, as we talked earlier in the game about Thomas's big arm, it let him down there. That ball should be thrown about 2 yards from the sideline. Having it inside the numbers created an opportunity for the safety to make a play. Another big turnover by this Wisconsin defense. That's 5 in the last 2 weeks for the Badgers.
From about 15 minutes outside of town, and Leo Musso last week, a huge open field tackle on Leonard Fournette with about 2 minutes left in the game. All 5'10", 194 pounds. Came up in a big hit on Fournette.
A big play, actually. Sent Leonard out of the game for a play that changed how LSU was calling plays at that point. It's a big play by that little guy.
And it comes up with an interception there. Clement cuts outside. Back up top. And he gets to the 13-yard line before Gilbert comes in on a 4-yard pickup.
One of the things we talked about with Paul Chryst in regards to the running game was patience from the backs. He thought they were a little impatient a week ago. Well, right there, Corey shows you. Press the hole, wait, and then bounce it. So he did a really good job of being patient, not rushing the lane right there. And he is lighting it up on the ground today.
We talk about being a balanced team, but ultimately, depending upon what that defense is giving you, that's the direction in which you're going to go. Play action here. Houston with time across the middle, and he overthrows Peavy. And the pass is incomplete.
Had an opportunity there, right? Did a better job with his eyes, looking the safeties off. There was a lane. You got to get that one down. When you overstride a little bit, the ball tends to float on you. Watch his feet. Watch him. See that stride? It's a little longer than he likes, so that ball is a little high and sails on him. You missed a great opportunity there for a big play.
7 for 9 on third downs. It's 3rd and 6. From the 13. Houston drops back, steps up, and he's going to be brought down. There is a flag down. Savon Pittman on the stop for the Akron Zips. A transfer from Ohio State. And I believe it's going to be holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 52. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Right tackle Jacob Maxwell.
Take a look at number 50 right there on the defensive line. Another takedown. Can't wrap your hands around and take him down. It's a holding call. And this Akron defense is starting to play a little better now. Starting to get a little pressure on the passer. And now for the first time, Wisconsin has to punt the football.
From his own end zone, P.J. Rozowski. Last week punted. This week it's going to be Anthony Lottie, the true freshman. Lottie all the way to the 45. JoJo Natson at the 30. Natson at the 20. Natson at the 5. Touchdown, Akron. No flags down. JoJo Natson back in 2014 was 9th in FBS punt returns. He was first team all Mountain West Conference for Utah State and had 4 punt returns for a touchdown in his career. And he has one here first time as an Akron Zip.
Yeah, just an outstanding job by the punt return team. There's 3 different ways to return a punt, right? Right, left, or down the middle. You're looking for a wall. Great wall down the right side of that field. And JoJo, you said the transfer made a great play.
JoJo Natson, always dangerous back there, and he gets the Zips on the board. The special teams come through.
Special teams is an important component of that. We just saw JoJo Natson take it down the right side of the field, so this is a right return. We're going to see a wall. It's going to build right here on the right side. JoJo takes his time. He catches it. He's going to set it up. Look at that wall right there to the right side. Perfectly blocked, and we've got enough speed and agility to get to that lane. You can take it the distance for a house call. Great play by that young man. You mentioned he's a transfer from Utah State, made some big plays last week, and showed up again here today.
The up man, Agumbawale, is going to bring it up to the 32-yard line. Akron, a 55-yard punt return, the 5th career punt return in his collegiate career. JoJo Natson. And with 3:07 remaining here in this first half, it's 23-7. And Natson voted as a captain, the Utah State transfer. And Terry Bowden talk about his building this roster, taking over for Rob Ianello, the former Wisconsin assistant who was the head coach for 2 seasons at Akron, and brought in some transfers and a blend of homegrown talent as well as others that may start at the Big 10 to the Big 12 or even the Mountain West. Coaches change, situation changes. Clement spinning around, loses the football, loose ball, and it's picked up by Akron, recovered by Sean Featherstone. Oh my, Clement, you see him hobbling toward the sideline. Let's see if he is down. Is he down? Clement being wrapped up by Jamal Marcus there. Is the knee down, elbow down? Yes, I think he's down.
Yeah.
Elbow is down the ground, causing the fumble. Let's see. You see Bart Houston hustling.
We've been talking about Jamal Marcus all day, the transfer from Ohio State. He shows you why the Buckeyes thought he'd be a great player. I mean, he's got a great motor. Got after Corey right there. I think the ground caused that fumble, but this kid can play some football.
And you see how his left foot got caught underneath Jamal Marcus, the left foot of Corey Clement. The play is under review. Watch the left foot, the ankle gets caught and twisted underneath. And let's go to our rules analyst back in our studio, Dick Honig.
Well, I agree with your comments. I think you think from the video picture that the elbow hits before the ball becomes loose. And I think they should bring this back as just down by contact. The only thing on a player's body that doesn't cause you to be down is the wrist and the hand. Everything else that touches it would be considered to be a down player.
And we get a clear shot of it. That's sometimes the challenge with instant replay, Matt, is getting a clear shot so that the officials can see it and make the right call. There, I think we clearly see the elbow down. And so this ball should come back to Wisconsin, but it does not take away from the effort of Jamal Marcus. I mean, this kid has come here today to play a great game.
You see the elbow down, causing the fumble. Our replay official here at Camp Randall, Bill Simmons, and our referee is Kurt Johnson. They're in communication with one another. Indisputable video evidence. And you heard from Dick Honig and all of his years of experience. Our rules analyst, Paul Chris, away to the outcome here with 2:55 left here in the first half. From a field position standpoint, this could be a big swing here for the Akron Zips or the Badgers.
But huge. I mean, we talked about Wisconsin dominating the game for a quarter and a half, and then this Akron Zip defense steps up, get a punt, you get 6 out of that. If you get a turnover here, that is significant because now you're in position to get some points here before the half. So the defense has definitely cranked it up here in the last several minutes, giving the Zips an opportunity to make some plays here.
All right, let's go back to Dick Honig, who has a little bit more to add. Dick?
Yeah, here the problem that they're having now is determining the clock and the spot of the down runner. So that's what's taking them long. I think you'll find that they'll put them down, but they're trying to get the clock and the yard line correct.
All right, here comes Kurt Johnson walking back out after talking to Bill Simmons, the replay official.
After further review, the runner was down at the 38-yard line. Therefore, it will be 2nd and 5.
That's exactly what, as Dick Honig mentioned, the spot of the ball, down in distance, in clock.
Great call by them. That was the right call. But how about the shot? How about our crew getting a great shot of that elbow being down? Because a lot of times as you watch college football games, you don't get a good enough look to get that call situated properly. That was a great shot by that cameraman. He ought to get some cheese and chips before the game is over.
Great job by everyone. Bill Simmons, Kurt Johnson, our crew, and then also the addition of Dick Honig coming in with his analysis. And 2nd and 5. And 2:38 on the clock.
This is an important drive here for the Badgers, Matt. There's 2 points in any game at the end of the half and at the end of the 4th quarter, where we call it the 4-minute period. And when you have the ball on offense, what you want to do is use the rest of that clock, get points if you can, but don't give the ball back to the opponent, because you never want the team that's trailing to get a score right before the half. So this is an important drive for Bart Houston and this Badgers offense. Let's see if they can put some things together. 2nd and 5 here. You don't have to score points, but you don't want to give the ball back.
I think a discussion going on about where the ball was spotted. Let's see.
2nd down and 5 at the 38-yard line.
Yeah. So 2nd and 5 from the 38. Coming up next, Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. We look forward to that. You saw Corey Clement walking on the sideline for the Badgers. A little bit of cloud cover here. Early afternoon in Madison. Houston with time, looks downfield. Wide open, Robert Wheelwright. Hit him in stride there. Featherstone and Geyser come up to make the stop.
We've talked about this dominant offensive line all day long, how they allowed Corey Clement rushing lanes. Well, how about protecting the passer? Look at this. It gets back in rhythm. There's nobody close. A couple of hitches and an accurate throw for a big completion right there. When you have an offensive line that plays that well, it's a quarterback's best friend.
Pick up at 28. Houston under center. Deal the running back. Stays in to block. Houston down the middle of the field. What a pass. What a catch. And a touchdown for the Badgers. Jazz Peavy, his second touchdown of the day.
Again, outstanding job by that offensive line and running back stepping up, giving time to Bart Houston so he could display that big arm. Nice post throw, snuck it into a tight little pocket between the corner and safety for a big touchdown throw. Watch him here. Look at this protection. Watch the back step up. Boom. Big block in a hole. Quarterback gets to step up. Pretty spin on that ball. Tight little window. Big catch for Peavy, who's having an outstanding game today.
Larry Hope was all over Jazz Peavy, and Houston fit it right in to that window.
7 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. That was one of the questions we had for the coaching staff. You know, if a team's going to shut down the run or take away the tight ends, where do you go next? And they mentioned these guys, Will Wright and Peavy, and they both have stepped up big today. It's his second touchdown. And you're right, it was a tight hole, but a tight spiral gets it into tight holes. It's a great throw by Bart Houston.
You see Hope up, heading back to the sideline for the Akron Zips. And Paul Chryst told us yesterday, he said he wants to see his Badger team finishing drives and not putting as much pressure on Gaglianone. And then also, he said, look, you got to trust yourself and turn it loose if you're Bart Houston. And he understands when he makes mistakes like he did last week. He goes, I don't have to be Coach Obvious.
Right.
He said, you still got to trust the kid. And
Great line.
when you're asking him to turn it loose, he said, you got to let him go. He turned it loose that time, Stanley.
He did.
Touchdown,
He did.
Badgers. 10-3 last season. A win against the Trojans in the Holiday Bowl. His second season as the head coach here. But, of course, a player here from Madison. Went to Edgewood High School. Right around the corner from here. We were driving by it on the way to Camp Randall. You're like, that's impressive. They got a lot of land over in
Looks like
Edgewood.
a small college. It's a great school. How about that look? How about that crew cut there by Coach Chryst? Looked good back in the day.
Played at Wisconsin from 1986 through 88. Mostly played quarterback. Also spent some time at tight end. And, of course, former offensive coordinator here from 2006 through 2011. Went to Pitt and then returned. Barry Alvarez bringing him back. Number 9
Look at that
for
young
the
man.
Badgers.
He's young there, wasn't it? Great hair. Look at that.
You know, this is a place, it's a special place, as you well know. You know, there's great pride, there's great tradition in being a Badger. It's a Badger Packer state, as you know. And the defense coming up big that time, Vince Beagle, along with T.J. Watt right there. And it's also a place where you see former Wisconsin Badgers come back and coach. And a lot on their staff, ex-Badgers, and they understand what this is all about here.
They absolutely get it. You know, it really started with Barry Alvarez resetting the stage for this program. And in the 5 years I was at Ohio State, we played them 4 times. It's always the most physical game on our schedule. It's a great program. They need more credit.
Matson reels it in. His 55-yard punt return, the reason that the Akron Zips have 7. And Woodson hooking up 35 yards downfield. This is a young offensive line for the Zips. They had to replace 5 seniors up front. And so Woodson out of the gun, looking underneath. And with 1:30 and counting, it's going to be second down, a pickup of 4. Thomas Woodson, the MAC Offensive Player of the Week. The conference that's produced some great quarterbacks. Woodson to the air, going deep down the sideline, and a flag is down. The pass was intended for Austin Wolf, and Derek Tyndall was right there.
look like it's going to be offsides on the defense here on the right side of the defensive line. Vince Beagle jumped a little early. And look, that's a great job by the quarterback there from Akron. He talked about in the pregame his big arm. But whenever the defense jumps off sides, that's an opportunity for you to take a shot. And that's what he did. Didn't hook up with it, but he still took the shot. So now you'll get 2nd down and 5.
There are 2 fouls on the defense. Offside. Defense. Number 47. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference. Defense. Number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
So the Zips moving it here.
How about this attack from Akron? I mean, here it is. You're down 30-7. You're trying to get back in the game, but they throw the ball vertically. They challenge your corners. This quarterback's got a big arm. Showed a little Bernie Kosar a couple plays ago with the sidearm throw, but they're not backing off. They're going to challenge the defense vertically, and it only takes a couple plays to get points when you throw the ball like this.
Career high 470 yards last week against VMI. School record 6 touchdowns. Woodson to the end zone. He's got Nats in there. Does he make the catch? No. Incomplete. Nansen thought he had it. 5'8", 151.
Great hands.
He doesn't get a foot down.
It's kind of tough to see for me there. He had the goalpost in the way. He definitely caught the football. The question is, was he able to drag a toe? I guess we're not going to look at it.
Yeah, I don't think he was able to. Woodson, tons of pressure to the end zone once again. Looking for ball on a wheel route. And a flag is down. How about this pressure coming from the edge by Wisconsin?
They're trying to get there, but how about the quarterback standing in the pocket, knowing you're going to take a big shot, delivering an accurate throw downfield to ball that had a great chance of being caught there for a touchdown. This kid's got some skill. The Mac's been known to make great quarterbacks and put them in the NFL. This kid is following in the footsteps.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 42. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
So first on Derek Tyndall, now on T.J. Watt. And the Zips marching down the field against the Badgers. Woodson's lost some weight. He's 6'1", 233. He was up around 258. He's a power runner, and he's got a big arm.
At 6'1" is a big boy. Yes. This is a big guy.
Coming up, the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Terry Bowden, Zips trying to get on the board under a minute remaining in the first half. Cloud of cover here at Camp Randall. And a timeout.
First charge timeout, Wisconsin.
Badgers.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
A timeout. Terry Bowden in his 5th season here. His brother Jeff on the staff, special teams coordinator, wide receiver coach. And, of course, the family coaching tree beginning with his father, Bobby Bowden. Tommy Bowden at Clemson. He's at Tulane. And Terry Bowden, of course, coming to Akron from the University of North Alabama, and was a head coach at Auburn, won a national title there. And you see Jeff on the far right.
It's amazing. You know, the old adage is not what you know, it's who you know, right? So you want to figure out how Akron has got all these transfers in? Just look right there. Call your brothers and your dad. They'll help you find players.
And Mark Richt, who was on the staff in Florida, said they have so many connections around the country. Here's Woodson. Woodson rolls out under pressure, throws it back in the end zone. In and out of the hands of Jerome Lane, and another flag against the Badgers.
And it looks like it's in a position of defensive holding or pass interference when it comes behind the line of scrimmage. Not a bad thought by Thomas. You got a 6'3" wide receiver. Throw it up high. Let's see if he can get it. Worst case scenario, falls out of bounds. He looked like he was trying to break a backboard on that one. He climbed the ladder, almost made that play.
His father, the All-American.
There are 2 fouls in the offense. An eligible receiver downfield, number 52. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference, offense, number 82. 15-yard penalty, second down.
So they both go against the Zips.
Correction, first down.
One of the points of emphasis for the officials this year, linemen downfield. It really comes with the zone read pass play that Oregon has become really famous for. So they're watching linemen. You've got a 3-yard box. If you get beyond that, they're going to throw the flag. You got to stay within that box so you don't get that penalty.
Big deep breath taken by the Badger faithful. Not against Wisconsin, against the Zips. First and goal. Underneath to ball wrapped up and brought down by Natrell Jamerson out of Ocala, Florida.
Little nickel defense right there. Great play by Natrell Jamerson. Got the ball in the hands of Warren Ball, an explosive, tough running back.
Akron.
It's a tough tackle for any secondary guy. Got low, wrapped up, and brought him to the ground. Great play.
In the Badgers nickel look and talking to Justin Wilcox, they actually keep their 4 backers on the field. They take out the nose guard. Enjoy the lighter side of Big Ten Sports on BTN's new late night show, Stanley. Sports Light with Mike Hall. Each week join Mike along with correspondents in New York and LA as they hang out with your favorite Big Ten athletes, coaches, alums, and fans. And don't miss Sports Light with Mike Hall. Premieres this Wednesday night at 11 Eastern on
He's
BTN.
a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
He is. When are you going to appear on that?
I don't know. They get to have me on.
Yeah.
But this is that nickel look we talked about. You see the box. Typically, they've got a nose guard in the 3-4. They take the nose guard off the field, leave the linebackers out there, bring an extra secondary guy, and it helps them cover when you play teams like Akron.
Woodson, flush out of the pocket. James chasing him, and he fires it on the far side of the field. And rain is coming down here. It rained throughout the night and into the morning. The sun appeared, and now the rain falling heavily. And you see some heading to cover with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Sitchy right up at the line. Jamerson, they're coming from the edge. Underneath, Lane, wrapped up and brought down by the former quarterback, Ryan Conley. The walk-on who moved to linebacker. And a 6-yard gain, and he'll see more time because of the injury last week, of course, to Chris Orr. And unfortunately for Chris, a torn ACL. But they do bring back T.J. Edwards. Leon Jacobs is also a player that can play both ways.
He was huge last week. You talk about not preparing to start or play as much. Comes in, has 7 tackles. That was a big play right there to try to run the jailbreak screen into the boundary. Akron's trying to get some points because there's a significant difference going into the half, down 30-14 compared to 30-7. So it's a big play.
Third and final timeout, Akron. This will be a 30-second timeout.
2 seconds left here. And Akron Zips will get the ball to start the second half. So just Terry Bowden looking to get some points here.
It's a game changer, right? It's a tough decision here. Do you go for 7 because you're so close, or do you just take the 3, going down 20, then you get the ball, a touchdown puts you right back in it. So that's what I would do. Kick the field goal, put yourself in position, you got a little confidence, your defense is playing better, your offense has found some first downs. We've thrown the ball vertically, so let's see if we can get it done.
I think they're going to look for the 3 here. And Tom O'Leary comes in. Last week he was 5 of 7 in extra points. And the field goal attempt is good. 32-yard field goal attempt, and it's good. And it's 30-10. The 10th ranked Badgers over the Zips through the first 2 quarters. It's halftime.
Great effort by that Badger defense. Akron was able to figure out some things late throwing the ball vertically. But that defense is as good as Bills. And if they continue to play well, it's going to be tough for anybody on the schedule.
Halftime right after this. It's 30-10. The Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report when we return. Badgers coming out onto the field through the tunnel here at Camp Randall Stadium as they lead 30-10 over the Akron Zips, getting set for the start of the second half. And Stanley Jackson's here with BTN to go. You're checking it out. All the scores from around the Big Ten today.
The scores, the highlights, you pick your favorite team, and you won't miss a beat on BTN to go.
I got to get rid of my Canadian phone so I can get
That's
this.
A problem.
It is a problem. All right, Badger fans, BTN to go is now fully customizable for your team. Check out all the new features of the app. Watch live Wisconsin games and daily video from BTN, as well as fresh real-time social content about your school, stories from BTN.com, and much more. Update yours or download the app today. Available in the App Store, Google Play. And we are ready to play. You've had that thing working it all day long. I have a feeling you have a little bit of Ohio State going on over there.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
But a lot of great games. Rutgers finally got it together against Howard. Put it on them, you know. Penn State down to the wire. A lot of good stuff on that app. A lot of good stuff.
Yep. So the Badgers to kick off here. And time now for the Quicken Loans quarterback comparison. And it has been all Bart Houston. And Houston, 12 of 19, 206 yards, 2 touchdown passes. And Thomas Woodson he hasn't seen much time. He has had some big plays downfield.
Right. Well, the one thing about the Akron attack is they throw the ball vertically. And when you throw it vertically, you're not going to complete as many balls. So he's sitting at 50% right now. And that's why their team hasn't been on the field as long. But when you think about Bart's day, he's a couple of plays away from having almost a perfect game. Forced a couple throws in. But that's a great effort in the first half out of a young or inexperienced quarterback trying to figure things out.
Wazowski kicking off here to begin the second half at Camp Randall under a cloud to cover the ball. Will be placed at 25 for Thomas Woodson. Woodson a season to go through for better than 2,200 yards, had 16 touchdowns, 10 starts. And they're second on the team, 600 yards rushing. Inside handoff, Warren ball, no place to go. T.J. Watt right there along with Conley and Vince Beagle.
That quartet of linebackers picking up right where they left off in the second half, not allowing any rushing lanes for Warren Ball. And when these guys get going and when they have a feel for what you're trying to do on offense, they're a tough defense.
Vince Beagle is just great. When you talk to Coach Chris about him, he said he's authentic, provides so much energy for this team. Under pressure, wrapped up T.J. Watt. Obasi, Chikwe Obasi, a tremendous amount of pressure right there through the middle. And then it was T.J. Watt who eventually wrapped up Woodson.
He did a great job with his hands right there. He's going up against a tackle, big, strong guy. Kept his hands extended, didn't let the tackle get a hold of him, and fought his way to a big sack.
Sheehy and Obasi up front. They played in the same conference in high school. And teammates for the Badgers. Woodson across the middle. And what a catch by Anthony Young, the transfer from Indiana, and Leo Musso upends him. But Anthony Young right in the middle of the field, coming down with it and pick up a 17.
And Thomas finally gets to display that strong arm, throwing it over the middle. It takes guts to go over the middle, Matt. So it's a great completion. Just happened to be 4 yards short for the Zips. So that kick team has worked its way back onto the field.
Gasser Sends it to Peavy. Peavy, a fair catch back at the 28-yard line. And a timeout on the field here as we head to break. It's 30-10. 10th-ranked Badgers. You see Corey Clement without his helmet, number 6 there. Better than 100 yards on the ground all in the first half. And this was a play where you see Jamal Marcus wrapping up underneath him, and Clement got up gingerly from that play back in the first half. I haven't seen him since then, but maybe no need. Deal straight through the middle. And DeAndre Scott is there on the stop. First 100-yard game for Corey since October 31st of last season. Stanley against Rutgers, 11 carries, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You see 21 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Sun now appearing at Camp Randall once again. 9-yard to pick up. It's going to be 2nd and 1, I formation. Deal once again. Deal into the secondary and midfield before he's finally brought down by Brock Boxon.
That's why in this game it's not that big a deal to sit Corey the second half. Watch the line block. Look at the fullback there fitting up the linebacker. Creates a nice little scene for Tywan Deal to get his pad level low and pick up some extra yards. A lot of depth at the running back position. The question mark was the offensive line a year ago and their youth this year. And I got to tell you, they're playing great today.
You really are. Left tackle Ryan Ramczyk, a transfer from Wisconsin, Stevens Point, and tripped up in Gilbert. Is there on the tackle as Deal. There's a pickup. And a couple there. Ramczyk, number 65 there. He was offered to go to Pitt, wanted to stay close to home. When Paul Chryst was at Pitt, went to Winona State for a week or so, then went to Wisconsin Stevens Point. Sat out last year. You don't see many transferring from Division III up to Division I, but home state Wisconsin Badger fan. First down as Wheelwright makes the catch and a big hit by Sean Featherstone. And a first down for the Badgers.
It's a significant difference when Bart is able to step up in the pocket. He's a lot more accurate. Now, you like to have that ball in the front shoulder, but good enough throw to get it done right there.
And a big catch, Wheelwright. Ramczyk is interesting. Joe Schobert, of course, a great linebacker here, said during the 2016 NFL Combine that Ramczyk was the best tackle that he faced last year. Of course, he was out because of transfer rules, but got to see him through the week. And a great deal there right through the middle. And that is Agumbawale, who is racing through the middle, and Featherstone is there, and a 6-yard pickup. But I'm talking highly about Ryan Ramczyk.
Well, the fascinating point, as you mentioned, Paul Chryst offered him a full scholarship to come to Pitt. So it wasn't like he couldn't play Division I football. He chose to stay home. It tells you about Wisconsin and the kids here and how much they love the state, and it just worked out perfectly for him coming back here to the Badgers.
First charge timeout, Akron. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Timeout taken by the Akron Zips. It's 30-10, 10th-ranked Badgers with 10:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Just a week ago up in Green Bay, Lambeau Field, Les Miles and his Tigers against Paul Chryst and his Badgers. And what a great scene. And certainly for Paul Chryst and his Wisconsin Badgers, a huge victory in a week one, downing the 5th-ranked LSU Tigers 16-14. Brought them there in the spring. They went to the Hall of Fame. The Packers Hall of Fame said it was outstanding bringing everyone there. And then, of course, you followed it up with a win. A nice cutback this time, and it's going to be a first down as Deal is wrapped up by Kamara. And not before he picks up that first down.
You can tell Wisconsin has a plan coming out of the locker room. In the first half, first possession, 10 runs to 3 passes. right back to business here, setting the stage, letting Akron know that we're the bigger, stronger team. We're going to run the ball down your throat.
Even beating LSU. And this is a grounded group. It starts with their head coach, Paul Chryst. Bart Houston talked about what he needed to do to improve. It's going to be second down now as Deal picks up a couple. And a Bucky Badger is going to work here.
Look at the balance on that guy there. Holy cow.
And just receiving word, a left leg injury to Corey Clement. And you see number 6 there, Corey Clement, with 100+ yards all in the first half. He is out for the remainder of the game. Georgia State next week. Here's Houston, throws underneath. And Troy Fumagalli with the reception, his first of the afternoon. And Houston and Fumagalli, they've been roommates on the road for the last 2 years.
Option route right there by Fumagalli, runs down the pipe, breaks out because the defensive leverage is on the inside. And again, when Bart gets to step up in the pocket, it's a very accurate pass that throws a pretty spiral on that football. Great execution right there by the Badgers offense.
First week of classes for the Badgers. They remain grounded despite all the conversation all week long. Not only here in Madison, but throughout the country. Nagumbawale is wrapped up by Bell, breaks away. Still grinding it out. And Jones is finally there along with Featherstone. And, you know, Paul Chryst, talking to him yesterday, Stanley, he talked about, hey, look, we had a longer time to prep for LSU. Now we're back into the rhythm of the season, regular prep time.
Right, so kids don't have as much time. Now they're back in class. That drains them a little bit. But it starts with leadership. It starts with the guys that have been around. And Vince Beagle, right, starts off the week by saying, hey, guys, just because we're 10th, that's the same group of guys that had us unranked. So let's focus here and play great football throughout the season. Their leadership is outstanding.
That's a great point. Here's Houston out of the shotgun. Houston swings it over to Rushing. Rushing trying to break free, but it can't. He's at the 10-yard line. And DeAndre Scott in the open field, able to make that tackle.
Well, and you look at that play, you might say, well, it wasn't very successful. Well, the reality for the quarterback, it was a huge success. He didn't force the ball downfield. Nobody's open. You just work through your progression and throw it to the open guy. If he breaks a tackle, great. If not, we're still in great position to pick up a first down, and we didn't turn the ball over in the red zone, so there's still points available for us on offense.
Joe Rudolph, the offensive coordinator, on the sideline. Third downs, Wisconsin is 7 of 10. Houston under pressure. Houston trying to break free. And Houston is dropped at the 15-yard line, and Ulysses Gilbert right there.
See some pressure by Akron right there, bringing more guys than a Wisconsin offensive line can block. If you don't see it initially as a quarterback and you're not throwing to your hot guy, then you just take the ball, put it away, live to fight another day. Let's get 3 points on the board. So smart play by Bart Houston and not trying to force the ball, tucking it so your kicker can come and make a play.
Ethan Bischoff was right there as well for the Zips. 33-yard attempt. Gaglianone through the uprights, and it's good. The Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week last week was 3 of 3, including the game winner from 47 yards. This one from 33. 33-10, the Badgers with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. 12 plays, 57 yards. Took 6:44 for Gaglianone and the 3 points. T.J. Rosowski the kickoff. Van Edwards back into the end zone, and this one through the end zone, and the Zips will operate from the 25. Vince Beagle, who was raised on his family's century-old Cranberry Marsh in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, is the United States Marine Corps leader of the game. 3-time academic All-Big Ten selection. He also has been named a candidate for the All-State AFCA Good Works team for his community service efforts through the Badgers Give Back program, including organizing the first Badgers Go Bald event in 2015, in which Beagle and his teammates allowed pediatric cancer patients from American Family Children's Hospital to shave their heads in a show of support. Rocking the mullet right now. And to the near side is Jerome Lane. Vince Beagle, in the 5th year, senior, went to Lincoln High School. 8th in school history with 18.5 career sacks. Talking to Justin Wilcox, defensive coordinator, talked yesterday about you got to turn him loose, and he's a leader out there for sure. Plays hard, and he said that they actually have video, Stanley, where they'll have teachable moments, and it's from practice. And so number 47 is on it all the time. This is the way you go about it. Practice as well as the game.
That's it. It's tough to just flip a switch and be great. It starts with work ethic. I'm sure you learned that on the Cranberry Farm. And he just comes out here and he goes to work. We saw him pregame, and he was outstanding getting ready for the game 2 hours before.
Tyndall nearly intercepted that one. And, of course, you know, it sets a tone for the freshmen that are here that see that, see his approach. Watch this here. Tyndall nearly an interception. That jump ball with Natson on the outside. 3rd down now and 10 for the Zips.
That was great competition at the point for the football. Receivers can help quarterbacks by giving more room on the sideline. Not enough space for him to put it on the outside shoulder.
0 for 5 on 3rd downs. Woodson to the far sideline, and he overthrows his intended target. Quidarius Smith, the transfer from the University of Missouri.
When you think about quarterback mechanics, there are a lot of things that come into play. One is balance and how you throw the football. You saw all his weight leaning backwards, so that points your shoulders up and a ball sails on him. Look at his weight. Shoulders are pointing up a little bit. That weight is leaning backwards, so the ball tends to sail. It's not a huge viewpoint of it, but just that little mechanical flaw has you throwing inaccurate balls.
Gasser off the side of his foot. And this one is bouncing around and scooped up by the Akron Zips. And so the Zips down it there. And Kyron Brown out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Time now for a T-Mobile studio update. Mike Hall. Here's Mike.
Taking on Ball State, and this is Nick Westbrook's 2nd touchdown of the day. This one goes for 79 yards. By the way, how about this Hoosier defense pitching a shutout right now, up 27-0 in the 3rd.
33-10 here, ball on the 17, 5:29 remaining in the 3rd, and a new quarterback. Bart Houston is out, and a redshirt freshman from Westchester, Pennsylvania, Malvern Prep, Alex Hornibrook, who was a University of Pittsburgh decommit, early enrollee. Here out of Wisconsin, as Deal is tripped up by Geiser. Zach Geiser coming in from that safety position. But Hornibrook, he's got a big arm. They like him.
I love this decision by Paul Chryst to get him in now with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. But the one thing about Bart Houston is he's a senior, so you got to prepare your guy who's going to be next. You never know when an injury takes your starting quarterback out, so getting quality minutes for any backup is important. I can't wait to see him rip one down the field. I've been hearing about this big arm. I want to see it.
2nd and 3. Deal to the outside. And Deal's going to pick up a 1st down for the Wisconsin Badgers. As Brian Bell, an outside backer from Valdosta, Georgia, pushes him out of bounds.
Watch the fullback lead, picks up the edge defender right there, allows Tywan Deal to get to the corner, pick up some extra yards. And this offensive line has just been churning all day long, allowing the running backs great run lanes. They're doing a phenomenal job. And having depth at running back is important. As you see, Corey got rolled up earlier. Put Tywan Deal in there is a good deal for Ohio State.
Hornibrook to the near side, and the catch is made by Quintez Cephas, the true freshman from Macon, Georgia, out of Stratford Academy, and a pickup of 10. Talked about a ram check and Dietz and Dieter, Benshaw, and Maxwell up front for the Badgers, giving Hornibrook time.
Little lefty action. Stood up tall in the pocket, delivered a strike right there. Very accurate throw, nice tight spiral. I'm just not sure what was better, the throw or the catch. Wow,
Catch was impressive by the true freshman. That's his first catch in his career. Did play last week against LSU. High formation. They're going to give it to Deal, trying to bounce outside, and he's going to pick up a couple. Andrew Hauser comes in on the stop, the Mike linebacker. Bart Houston, 15 for 22, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. When you assess what he was able to do for the Badgers today, Stanley, what do you see?
A solid performance, right? He's leading the charge in the second half. He took what the defense gave, forced a couple balls early in the game, but progressively got better. I think he's right where they want him. Another tune-up next week. Kid is getting better every week.
Georgia State next week. Underneath, they're going to find the other true freshman, A.J. Taylor, out of Kansas City, Missouri. You know, Bart Houston said after last week, look, I'm very encouraged. I'm not satisfied, and I can do a lot better to put this team where we need to be for the season. And it's a team that did a lot. The Badgers got their first top 5 win last week since beating top-ranked Ohio State back in 2010. And it was their first win over a top 5 team as an unranked team since beating third-ranked Ohio State in 1985. And it was the Badgers' first win over an SEC opponent in the regular season. I'm sorry to bring up the Buckeyes.
Well, hey, it seems like they like playing the Buckeyes when they're ranked in the top 5. I remember that 2010 game when Terrell Pryor came in here. And that team was supposed to be pretty good, and they got sent home with their tails tucked.
The flag is down. The catch made by Fumagalli, and it's going to go against Akron. But a couple of important weeks here. You got the big win against LSU. You have Akron, Georgia State, and then one of the toughest schedules that you'll see.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 56. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
Deontay Moore, the junior from Akron, Ohio. Here's his schedule. Check this out. Of Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa. Those 4 schools over 5 weeks. Last season, they were combined 46-8. 3 of those schools, 12-win teams. That's over a 5-week span.
Don't leave out Nebraska.
Well, and then you come home,
Nebraska team, right?
But then you come home and you see Nebraska. But 5 of the first 7 opponents finish in the top 16 of the final AP poll last season. To the corner. And the pass is broken up. Larry Hope, it may be on Hope. The pass was intended for Cephas.
I'm not sure who makes the schedules for the Big Ten, but when that one came out, you think somebody would have said, my goodness, their crossover games are a little difficult. Maybe we should cut them a break. But the good news for Wisconsin is simply this. If you win all your football games, you are in. You're dancing in the playoff. And the way this defense is playing, if the offense continues to come along, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
The defense. Offside, number 34. That penalty will be declined. Pass interference. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Under pressure, get some air underneath it, which you need in that situation.
Right. You want to have air on the ball. You want to throw it to the outside shoulder. But again, this is where the wide receivers can help the quarterback. See how tight he is to the line of scrimmage where the ball is going to be out of bounds? You got to be at least 4 yards away. So now there's room for the quarterback to throw it to your outside shoulder. There he had no room. Luckily, they got the pass interference call.
Hornibrook on a give to Deal. Deal down at the 5-yard line before Larry Hope comes in and makes the stop, and an 8-yard pickup as time ticks away here in the third. But that schedule at Michigan State on September 24th. And then at Michigan, and another penalty.
Offside, defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jelani Hamilton, the transfer from the University of Miami, didn't play last week because of an injury. Went to St. Thomas Aquinas High School, then stayed at home, went to Miami, is transferred to Akron. 6 penalties for 56 yards for Akron, 3 for 40 for Wisconsin. First down for the Badgers. Ingold up the middle, stacked up and stopped Darius Copeland, a junior from Fort Myers, Florida, right there. And a 2-yard pickup. Is going to be second down now.
It's a quick hit play on first down. You've ran the ball so effectively with your backs to the fullback lead, and you try to catch him off guard and pick up a couple yards with the big guy in between the guards.
Play action, wide open. Touchdown, Badgers. Alec Ingold, the sophomore from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Started his career as a linebacker. Last year saw some time at the running back. And the fullback gets a touchdown here.
Play action fake here in the red area. When you're running the ball effectively, all you got to do is flash it in the belly of the back. Those linebackers will jump on it. And then you get to pick what you want there in the end zone, picking up the big fullback for 6.
First career touchdown to pass for Alex Hornibrook. Gaglianone right through the middle. It's 40-10. The Wisconsin Badgers. 1:07 left in the third. 1:07 to go here in the third. And at the end of the third, you know what time it is. Yes, this is coming up, the jump around. And they cannot wait to get it going here at Camp Randall.
Are you ready for that? You got your shoes tied?
I'm always ready for the jump around. And Akron's going to start at the 25. It's 40-10, 1:07 remaining. And Ingold with the touchdown pass, 8 plays, 83 yards, 4 minutes and 22 seconds. And a great job by the redshirt freshman, Alex Hornibrook, coming in for Bart Houston.
He looked really good, actually. Big arm, as you mentioned, accurate passer, a great play action fake there. And I think you just see now Wisconsin is able to wear out that Akron defensive front 7 and get whatever they want. It's been a long game. The defense has been on the field a long time. The offense has to come through here in this possession.
Woodson, handoff, and met by James. Van Edwards is the ball carrier. And under a minute remaining here in the third for Akron. It doesn't get much easier for them. They go to Marshall next week, and then back home, Appalachian State. And then they get into conference play at Kent State, Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan, who defeated Northwestern last week. 8-win team from a season ago, a bowl team. And Woodson, no place to go.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know why anybody wants to schedule App State. They beat Michigan a few years ago. They had Tennessee on the ropes. I mean, that's a quality football team when you're a major or mid-major program. They better be ready for those.
The Mountaineers had the Vols right there at the brink last week. Man. Woodson's been a tough day. You see why he's shaking his head. You see the time ticking away. And we're going to head to break here. When we return, the jump around. Stanley Jackson's ready. How great is that? You gotta love it. 40-10. Woodson looks downfield, and the pass nearly picked off by Natrell Jamerson.
I got to tell you, man, that's a serious tradition. Started in 1998, October 10th against Purdue at homecoming. Missed me by about a year, but this whole stadium was rocking. I thought the press box was going to fall down. These folks really got into it.
Well, they had to bring structural engineers here just to make sure that the 80,000 series, they did, just to make sure that Camp Randall could hold the jump around. And it can. You didn't have to deal with it when you were at Ohio State, as you mentioned. Gasser, and it is taken by the Badgers. Peavy, and he is brought down right there. 40-10. There it is. The jump around.
It's amazing.
I saw you wanted to do it. I saw it, Stanley. You were leaning that. 44 remaining here at Camp Randall. Under center, Hornibrook. And an inside handoff to fullback. Also to Ramish. Straight ahead, and Brian Bell's been busy today on the stop and a 5-yard pickup for the Badgers.
That's just a great first down play, right? Giving it to your fullback, old school style football. Picking up 5 yards, being ahead of schedule on down and distance. Just a good old-fashioned play.
Formation and a handoff now to Bradwick Shaw, the redshirt freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. And with the carry there, forced out of bounds by Bryce Jones. Time now for a T-Mobile studio update. Here's Mike Hall. Mike?
Matt and Stanley, Wild one in Evanston. Northwestern can't score, but on a 4th and 5 on their opponent's 10, they don't kick the field goal, and it works. A touchdown pass to Austin Carr, and just like that, the Wildcats are up by 1.
All right, here at Camp Randall, 40-10. Badgers over the Zips. And Bradwick Shaw in action once again. Sidestepping the Zips and getting into the secondary. And Brian Bell once again at the stop. And a 70-yard pickup for number 7.
Nice little run right there. Sometimes the rich just get richer. Talking about being loaded at the running back position. If you're a high school back and Wisconsin offers you a scholarship, please come play football here because they run the ball the way you want to.
When you think of the success of their backs over the last decade plus. Trying to get outside, no place to go, stacked up and pushed back. Bryce Jones was right there, Bell was there, Gilbert was there, Rochelle was there, and DeMontis Venkus, the transfer out of the University of Iowa, was there as well, and Shaw was trot off the field in a loss of 2.
I'll say this about this Akron defense. They play hard and they're fighting to the end. I mean, my one concern for Akron coming in was how are they going to stand up against this Wisconsin offensive line and run game. They've given up 40 points, but their offense hasn't helped them at all, and they're still playing hard, flying to the ball, trying to make plays. They've got great effort on that side of the football.
3rd and 5. Hornibrook. Downfield has a receiver. It is caught at the 5, carrying Bryce Jones down to the 1-yard line is the true freshman, A.J. Taylor. What a throw and catch, 35 yards.
Wow, this kid can play. Watch this nice little pocket, steps up, moves to the side, and just fires a nice throw. Tight spiral in the perfect location. Kid can play. It was a tough battle in camp to determine who was going to be the starting quarterback. We're seeing a little bit of why it was such a tough battle that went down the stretch.
A.J. Taylor, 5'11", 194, carrying the 178-pound Bryce Jones on his back. It's going to be 1st and goal. Akron with a timeout.
This will be a full media timeout.
Barry Bowden, he understood how tough it was going to be coming here to Camp Randall.
Route, tight end to the flat, back into the middle. You're going to read the corner on this. So quarterback comes back, slides a little bit to his right. The corner runs with the tight end. Wide open post corner for a big play. Great read, better catch, good play by Wisconsin.
Hornibrook backing up Bart Houston. Seeing action here in the second half. And the give straight ahead. Did he muscle enough to get up there close to the end zone? No. Ramish is stopped by John Rochelle.
You gotta love what Barry Alvarez really reestablished here at Wisconsin, right? I mean, the identity of this football team hasn't changed since I was around in 1993 and 1994. They run the ball effectively. They're going to play a fullback, 2 tight ends, and they're going to get the fullbacks involved. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
And there it is. Touchdown for the Badgers. Over 530 yards in total offense for Wisconsin today. And it's been a tough day for the Akron Zips. And this defense, they've been on the field a lot.
Been on the field a long time. That's a tough play to stop with just a couple yards. You saw the offensive lineman firing off low, getting at the legs of the D lineman, allowing just a little lane, a little push for the fullback to get over the goal line. Great execution.
Gaglianone through the uprights is 47-10 with 11:17 left. Austin Ramish, 1 career touchdown. That was back in 2014. He adds to it today. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. (47-10). 10th-ranked Badgers went about their business today. Wazowski, and this one is going to be taken by the Zip kick returner and fumbles it around. And Patrick Johnson unable to catch it. Jamerson comes up limping there. And you see him, he didn't have his feet underneath him, it looked like.
He just didn't read that kick properly. You got to make a quick decision there when you're a returner. Get to that football. One of the worst things that can happen is to turn over the ball after the other team scored a touchdown. So they were lucky to jump on that one.
Mikey Hayes, actually the returner there. 1st and 10. With 11:11 to go here in the 4th. Badgers in the red zone today, Stanley, and this was something that when we talked to Paul Chris, he talked about being efficient in the red zone and not applying too much pressure on Rafael Gaglianone. In the red zone, they've been there 8 times. 6 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and then 1 turnover on downs.
Right, significant improvement. I mean, he talked about situational football. Red zone, 3rd downs, getting off the field, moving the chains. So a significant improvement this week. Granted, the opponent wasn't as good, but at least they're moving in the right direction.
Javon Chapman, who's in at quarterback for the Akron Zips. He's a junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, a transfer out of the University of Pittsburgh. You'll see Chapman there. It started really with the opening drive of the game, Stanley. 13 plays, 83 yards. And it chewed up nearly 70 minutes of the clock.
Listen, when you're big brother, you got to prove it right away. And that's what they did. It was smash mouth football. 13 plays, they ran it 10 times, set the stage for the day. Then the defense came out and just picked up where they left off a week ago. It's a good football team. They're going to be tough to beat.
Inside handoff on 3rd down, and they're going to come up short. Garrett Dooley on the stop. Jones is tripped up. And he's going to bring up 4th down now.
Man, I got to say, I'm even more impressed with this defense in person. But I thought Akron would challenge them a little bit. I thought Akron did some things on offense that was going to make it a little difficult on Wisconsin defense. At least historically, whenever they played a team that spread the ball out, had a big wide receiver, they were able to have a little success. But this defense is smothering and they have been dominant today.
Good punt by Gasser, and it's going to lead us to break. Ricky Finko on the return from Heartland, Wisconsin. Badgers will begin in zip territory. And a handoff to Shaw. Shaw puts his shoulders down, and he's wrapped up and brought down. And it's going to bring up second down and a pickup of 5. And as you take a look at Bart Houston, 5th-year senior out of Dublin, California. And then, of course, the redshirt freshman out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, Alex Hornibrook.
That's the most important stat, the 0 interception column. That's where Bart has grown up a little bit. Got to continue to improve protecting the football, but he's got a little competition at his back. This boy can play out here.
And he talked to Joe Rudolph, the offensive coordinator, and he gives straight up the middle.
Bradford Shaw, the carry.
Third down, Shaw, the ball carrier. And he said, talking about Hornibrook, he said his approach isn't one of a redshirt freshman. He's mature, and players around him, they have the ultimate trust. He said ultimate trust in Hornibrook.
And to me, that was the biggest compliment you could ever pay any quarterback. When your teammates trust and believe that you can lead the charge, that's a significant deal.
Aniston in motion. Hornibrook, the give to Shaw. Shaw's on the bounce outside at the 20, 15, 10. Shaw reaching out for the end zone. And a penalty marker is down. And it's going to be a touchdown. And now wait a minute. The officials are going to. And now wait a minute. The officials are going to come together.
Might be celebration. Maybe they thought he shouldn't have did the flip.
Well, they're coming together. They don't know if he stepped out of bounds at around the 5. 35-yard run. Did he step outside? In the field of play. I think he may have been out of bounds. Watch the right foot.
There is no foul in the play. The player was simply diving into the end zone. Touchdown is good.
We're going to call it a touchdown. His foot was not out of bounds. A touchdown for Shaw.
Gotta take a look at it.
Yeah, well, they look at all. And then see if...
The ruling on the previous play was a runner diving in the end zone for a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
The right heel of Shaw out of bounds.
You know, it's tough, though. I'm not sure the heel ever fully touches the ground there.
Remember, you need indisputable video evidence. You do see some light there. It is extremely difficult to tell. Replay official Bill Simmons is there in communication with Kurt Johnson. And let's go to the field and hear from Kurt Johnson.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Indisputable video evidence. Let's bring in Dick Honig. Dick?
That foot was in bounds or out of bounds. So that's the key. Obviously, the dive and the flop is the 15-yard penalty as an unsportsmanlike conduct, as showing off basically in an unnecessary situation.
All right, appreciate that. Dick Honig, our rules analyst. Aglianone, it's 54-10. 3 plays, 44 yards. And Bradrick Shaw reaching out to the end zone, hurtling into the end zone. And a touchdown for the Badgers.
Again, this offensive line has been dominant and explosive today. Doesn't seem like it matters who you put in the backfield, even though there's a lot of talent there, but it all starts up front with the offensive line. So that young man, a freshman, gets a taste of what it's like to score here in this stadium. That's outstanding.
6 carries, 65 yards, his first career touchdown. And 4 running backs have been used. Clement Deal, Agumbawale, and Shaw. And remember, a year ago, we mentioned this, they failed to have a 1,000-yard rusher for just the 3rd time since 1993, the first time since 2004. Just 3.8 yards per rush. Their lowest since 2004. Last year, they did average a school record 32.2 passing attempts per game. And brought back to the 20-yard line. BTN's new show, Campus Eats. Oh, you got to check this out. It's a first-hand look at the unique and iconic restaurants found across the Big Ten. This week, Campus Eats. The hosts, Troy Johnson, Jenny Dell, take you to campus institutions, including Mickey's Dairy Bar, right here in Madtown.
What?
Catch the show Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. It's right across the way.
And you didn't take me?
Well, wait a minute.
Are you kidding me?
You know who took me there? The first time I ever went was with Coach Glenn Mason. He said, Matt, we got to go over here. We got here really early, and we sat there and had a great breakfast. And then we walked over here, took a nap, and then did the game. So it was perfect.
So what you're saying to me is one Buckeye treats you right, and you get your chance to treat a Buckeye right, and you don't do it. We ate at the hotel. What are you telling me here, man?
And I didn't even pay for your meal. That's you know what? I apologize, Stanley. We should have. We got here in enough time. We got here at 10:30 in the morning. We could have easily walked over. And next time we're here,
next time,
got it covered. And I'm picking up the tab. 2nd and 7. And then I'll expense it. Chapman trying to get outside. We'll bring John Walsh, our producer. Big Money John, they call him. He can pay for it. Exactly. 6:58 to go here in the 4th. 54-10, Campus Eats. Check it out. There's so many great places. What's your spot in Columbus?
Oh, I got a lot of spots in Columbus. But if you've never been to get a Thurman burger, that's where we'll go. They'll show up on that show as well. It's the biggest, greatest burgers you'll have. But when you're in town, you give me a call. We'll hit a couple of spots.
Okay, definitely. You know, I was there with Glenn Mason. He did not take me to any good spots in Columbus. It was all work. 3rd and 4, 54-10, 6:30. Left here in the 4th, and spinning around is Anthony Young.
You know, man, I just can't say enough how impressive this defense is. It's the 3-4 defense. They did make an adjustment today, going with more nickel, taking the nose guard out, bringing an extra corner in. But the way they fly around and flow to the football is impressive. Their linebackers are sound. They maintain their gaps. And I thought Akron would have an opportunity to make some plays. They threw for 407 yards last week. They have completely shut down this offense, and it was impressive to watch.
Latrell Jamerson being attended to right now, the junior from Ocala, Florida, back after this. Up, and now being assisted off of the field here. In the junior corner. Comes in that nickel situation, which they played a lot of against this offense of the Akron Zips.
You know, it's the one thing you try to avoid in some of these early games when you're a better team. Even you think about Akron, we haven't seen Warren Ball in a while. He was taken off the field. And anytime you get guys banged up before you get into conference play, it's something that you don't want to see.
Well, that was one of the things in talking to Terry Bowden. He said, look, the number one thing, we want to get out of this game healthy.
Right.
Chapman to the air. And the pass is complete to Anthony Young once again. Figaro out of Everett, Massachusetts. The junior, Laverne Figaro, comes in and makes the stop at a 5-yard pickup with 5:48 and counting for Terry Bowden. He told us, he said, look, I understand it's going to be a monumental task. It was a 10-win Wisconsin team a year ago, and he goes, you know what? I think this team could be better this year. And of course, that schedule, it's a first down now for Akron. It's a daunting task there, and In talking to Paul Chris, I said, you look at that schedule. He said, look, he goes, I keep telling myself, embrace it, right?
Coach Chris was a little funny yesterday. He didn't want to talk about how good he thought this team could be.
Yep.
But I think Coach Bowden makes a great point because the offensive line wasn't very good a year ago. You mentioned, you know, before the break, the 3.5, 3.6 yards a carry. That's embarrassing for Wisconsin football team. Well, this line looks a lot better. They were very good last week. They were great here today. And if they can run the ball effectively, mix in play-action pass, getting the wide receivers involved. You got Fumagalli at the tight end. A lot of weapons on this football team and got a great defense to go with it.
Well, last year, I mentioned this earlier, they used 8 different starting combinations up front, and then Corey Clement was limited because of the sports hernia, and then also a 1-game suspension. You know, his freshman year, Clement ran for 547 yards behind James White and Melvin Gordon. Then in 2014, he nearly had 1,000 yards rushing behind Gordon and 9 touchdowns. Chapman connects once again with Young. So last year was supposed to be that breakout year. They didn't get it. Corey with better than 100 yards here today after 86 last week. Not playing in the second half. Left leg injury. He's out for the remainder of the game. And so we'll see what happens. Of course, they have Georgia State coming to town next week, and then they get into Big Ten action.
Great week to take a rest. You ought to be able to win that one with your backups because there's some talent there. But I really think Corey found his love for the game again. You know, when it's taken away, whether it's due to injury or suspension, you get to reflect on some of the things that you're doing and realize how important this game is to you, how special the opportunity is. And I think you see that in his running style this year. And he had an outstanding game here in the first half.
Griffin Grady, the true freshman from Dublin, Ohio, comes in and makes a stop. And a great tradition of linebackers here. And they keep bringing him in. Chapman, 1st and 10 now for the Zips. 3:35 left. Going to the end zone, and he overthrows Anthony Young, a transfer from Indiana, a former Hoosier. And it's 54-10 with 3:31 left.
And he had a golden opportunity right there. Just got to put a little more air on that football. Allow your wide receiver to run under it. He gave him enough space on the outside so that he could put it over that shoulder. Just too hard, not enough air, missed opportunity.
Chapman out of the shotgun. Now this is a great performance for the Badgers. Workmanlike, as you would expect. We talked about this earlier, Stanley, a grounded approach. You know, not, okay, yeah, we beat LSU at Lambeau. Yes, it's big, but, you know, we got to get back to work. And they have that blue-collar approach, and it starts with Paul Chris, and it filters down with all the coaches. And they understand the task at hand, take care of business against Akron, take care of business against Georgia State, and then get into that Big Ten schedule.
You could have easily looked beyond the Zips. Tried to look into Big Ten play. You mentioned how difficult that schedule is, but this team realizes they take one day at a time, one game at a time, and it'll put them in position to play for a Big Ten championship game. And I tell you what, they look real good right now.
Under pressure, and Leon Jacobs. Jacobs playing linebacker here today. Time now for the Duluth Trading hardest working players. So many of them are working hard for the Badgers, but today Jazz Peavy, 7 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And one of the things that Jazz Peavy, talking to the coaching staff, said about last week, he knows that he can play better and wanted to play better this week compared to last week.
Well, and he showed a number of different skill sets. We got him first on the end of the round. He got to the edge, showed some speed, some vision. Then he ran a great route. The ball was thrown a little wide. He had to go all hands and dive for it. Then you saw the speed on the post and the shallow cross. I mean, this kid can play the game. He's got a lot of tools at his disposal. And if they can find wide receivers to help open up this offense, that makes them a lot more dangerous.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th out.
There's Jamerson. This is Natrell Jamerson. They're trying to get him up that tunnel. Being assisted off of the field. And you see the wheelchair that is coming out.
Oh, you hate to see that.
The junior from Ocala, Florida. 4th and 19. Chapman swings it to Quadarius Smith. And the Missouri transfer is out of bounds. With 1:47 to go. And Wisconsin's going to take over on downs.
You know, Matt, this is an important time for any football program, both Akron and Wisconsin, right? Because when the game matters and it's on the line, you play your starters, you play your best guys. But you always want to develop those young guys. You want to give them an opportunity to play. Their families are here in the stands. And so, you know, a lot of times we think this is throwaway time, but this is how you build the program. Whenever you can get your young guys in, get them some opportunities. Alex Hornibrook has looked phenomenal here in his playing time. This is important for Wisconsin to build their depth going forward.
54-10. You see some of the Badgers along the sideline looking up at the Jumbotron here. They're just showing Illinois State beating Northwestern. And they'll have the highlights of that game coming up next on the State Farm postgame show. That is coming up next, the State Farm postgame show. And unfortunate for the Wildcats, starting this season 0-2. Last week, Western of Michigan, and this week, Illinois State. There's Corey Clement. Was certainly wish the best for him in the leg injury. We saw Jamerson being assisted off of the field by a cart and then a wheelchair. Hornibrook has looked strong here, the redshirt freshman from Westchester, Pennsylvania, Malvern Prep. Decommitted to Pitt and rolled early here at Wisconsin. Paul Chris recruited him to play for the Panthers, and now here he is as a Badger. And the time continues to tick away.
And he's looked good in his opportunities to play here today. You know, they've got some depth now at the quarterback position. That's always great to have. You know, there's depth at the running back position. They've got a plethora of tight ends. So they've got a lot of good skill guys on this offense. As long as the line continues to progress, then they're going to be a tough team to beat because this defense is lights out. I mean, I know Dave Aranda has gone on to LSU, but they have not skipped the beat.
Yeah, Justin Wilcox taking over. He's done a great job. Some great players out there. Those backers have been impressive once again. Here's Shaw straight ahead. Wisconsin's 21st consecutive win in a home opener. And that's going to do it. Here is Justin Wilcox, the defensive coordinator. The 10th ranked Wisconsin Badgers do exactly what you expected them to do. They come in and take care of business against the Akron Zips, 54-10.
Dominant effort by the offense and defensive lines, and they did exactly what they were supposed to, not allowing Akron any room to breathe. Fantastic game by this team.
54-10. The Badgers, 10th ranked Badgers, down the Zips for Stanley Jackson. I'm Matt Devlin. Thanks for watching BTN Football. Outstanding job by our entire crew, led by producer John Walsh. We now send you after the break to the State Farm post-game show.